Hi Libra, welcome to your March 1st to March 15th Astro Reels. It's my pleasure to read for you, you know how it is. And as you also know, these readings are ultimately timeless and signless, so you need not have any significant Libran placements, and you need not be watching this video at the time that it's published. If it resonates with you, then chances are it's for you. And if it doesn't, I would invite you to back pocket it for the time being and to see how the energies unfold for you. Maybe it just hasn't come to your conscious mind awareness as yet. And of course, if even that fails, then maybe you were just here for some light entertainment or some vibes, right? So if you'd like to work with me on a more personal level, you can find me at my Etsy shop. All of the information that you need to connect with me professionally is located in the box or on whichever platform you're watching. So let's jump right in, Libs. So Libra, as I was kind of feeling into the energy and kind of half-mindedly shuffling these cards, this card fell out, and immediately I was like, oh, that's so Libra, right? So when we think about Libran energies, one of the things that we can think about is Venusian energy, right? It's this really wonderful ladylike energy. But as I'm feeling into this energy now, I just looked up and I saw 1 minute and 11 seconds turning to 12. So there's an energy of this is not the exact meaning, but the words that came to mind is being past your prime. But I don't want it doesn't, that energy doesn't carry the negative connotation that we think of when we say the English phrase that something is past its prime. That way, that implies that something has run its course, it's old, it's no longer needed, it's outdated, it's no longer as effective as it used to be. That is not the meaning that is coming here. I'm trying to find a better set of words. But meaning that you have, I guess, exceeded. Maybe that's the better word. I know that I'm not quite getting it, but it means that you are at peak and then some. That's probably a better way of saying it. And actually, it's funny because I felt kind of guided to look up the last Libra reading that we did, the last Astro Reels, and it, I believe, said, I think this was the very last one that we did, and if it isn't, excuse me, but it's the one that talks about those of you, and you don't have to have Libran placements, but those of you who were handpicked, okay, you were handpicked from a group to move beyond and move into I guess, see, this is my conscious mind holding myself back, okay? So I'm just gonna, because, maybe it's my Libra nature. I'm like, nobody's special and no one's not special and we're all equal. Okay, but they're saying, I'm gonna keep it 100, they're saying that you were handpicked for something special. And when I say special, let's think of it as special ops, okay? So special ops meaning, of course, Spirit has people that they have assigned to do certain things. You know this, all of us at our higher levels know what this is, right? And so but there are some that were tapped for side service. I don't know what does that even sound like? For side service. And that was an appointed and unexpected position. That was an unexpected appointment. Now, if this is you, then you will have already been notified, of course, on another level. And chances are you have already been notified in your physical and at the conscious level about this. And I wonder why they're bringing this up. Okay, but that should I continue with that? Hold on. Okay, so yes, the reason why, because I wanted to move on, but the reason why they're bringing this up is because there are some fears that may be surfacing for you at this time. I'm going to run you a little story here, but it's not going to be long, and it's going to be, I guess, demonstrative. So an example that they're showing me is people start out together, they're recruits, and then, remember they gave us the example of Will Smith in that scene in the first Men in Black, when he was there with all these top brass from the Army, the Navy, all these other places, the Air Force, and I'm talking top, right? And they were all assembled in this room about to sit a paper test to see whether they qualified for this agency that they thought that they were being recruited for. And now you and I, as the audience members, know it's the men in black. We know it is for something that is beyond the reality, the constructed reality that most people on earth know. And they were being tested with this paper test, but they all failed except for him. And that's because they were not being tested on what they thought they were being tested on. What they were actually being tested on, I guess, was just looking at that scene, their resourcefulness, their ability to think outside of the box, things like that, blah, 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 blah. But how that relates to, and at the end of the scene, the guys are so fun. They're like, don't forget that part. At the end of the scene, all of them were, as Will Smith is being led away by Tommy Lee Jones, and they're chatting. We see them pass by the open door where the rest of the recruits are having their minds wiped, right? And of course, they would go back to doing whatever they do best because they're the top wherever they are. But what they were needed for, what they were being considered unknowingly for, they were not able to pass. Now, how that relates to, and they wouldn't know, but how that relates to now and this group that I'm speaking with. And I looked back at that reading just today, and I saw that on Instagram it had 11 views. Now you have to understand that I realized I don't get that many views, and I was always like, I wonder. I mean, I did at one point, and then COVID hit and I just wasn't posting as much. And anyway, but I realized that the messages that come through here are not for everybody anyway. And it's funny because there would be times in the past when I would go to market myself or go to share what I do in groups with others, and I would feel spirit actually just tuning me down, like energetically the energy shifts, and it's just like, it's very clear this is not who these messages are intended for. And that's why I often don't very much at all, if you notice, market for myself, because people find me, is basically what they said. Although now they're also asking me to do some stuff, so I am gonna have to be a little bit more out there. But anyway, so it's kind of that concept here, and this group is even more selective. And so whereas some other readings were getting like 50 views or whatever, which is not really that much, but again, right, this one only had 11 to this day. And I was like, oh shoot, okay, wow, okay, well, whatever. It's not my business who watches and who doesn't, right? My business is to put it out. But anyway, so that story in MIB is likened to this in the sense that, yes, amongst those who come down to do sacred service, not all of us will ever, not everyone will awaken. And if they do, because they get stuck, we get stuck for decades in the very thing that we're trying to get out of. And this is an occupational hazard. And then on top of that, for those who do quote unquote awaken and start to heal their life so that they can take, which is basically just healing your perceptions, so that they can take control of their life, and then they could step into the mastery that they already have. These are sleeping masters, for lack of a better word. Okay. And amidst that group that are able to get up, quote unquote, get up and get their stuff done, right? The guides, of course, or the team or whoever is out there, and I'm not even going to hazard a guess, they're still going to be looking amongst that group for those 8 minutes, 44 seconds, all those fours, who have demonstrated not necessarily a sense of mastery, because you are a master at what you do already if you've been volunteered for certain or you've been volunteered. If you volunteered and you've received the assignments and you're down here and you're doing, you've done this in other systems before, on other planets, so you know it already. But once you get here, can you get up? Once you get up, can you heal your perceptions to enough of a degree to really get on your path? And if you are able to do that and you're on your path, how consistent are you? And they would term consistent differently from what we would, okay? Just so you know. It doesn't mean you have to be up here posting every day, all the time, or even posting online at all. It could just mean that you're fulfilling whatever your terms of contract are, and it need not even be anything online or in a certain profession. Just remember that people are everywhere, right? And so and then on top of that, spirit is looking for those who are, for lack of a better word, incorruptible. Now, everybody has a price, of course, especially when we're in these human bodies, and then you have other people that you care about, or you have health conditions, or pain is another thing, because the physical body, emotions, right? Some of us are, in order to do our work, we have to be in a certain lifestyle and all sorts of stuff that really is just, it's work, right? It's not ideal. But anyway, so either way, spirit takes all of that into consideration, because you at a higher level are in alignment with spirit. You guys are with your guides, you're all doing this, you have your plans, but they look to see, amidst all of that, how well can you function down here? Can we rely on you down here? You could have the best Navy SEAL training and be the best this and that, but when you're in the field, can they toss you the baton? Can you carry it? And so this brings us kind of full circle to what it is that I guess they're trying to talk about again today. And they're saying, and this is because they're recruiting again, is what they're saying. Well, this time they're letting us know, right? Well, I guess they let people know, but not through my channel. I don't know, whatever. But and they're saying the last round, we were really looking at the heart space. Compassion. What was your ability to be compassionate? How deep could you have been? So a lot of us were presented 11 minutes 22 seconds with less than ideal aspects of ourselves, but being shown within the people around us. So a lot of people, of course, there's something to be said for moving yourself out of quote unquote harmful energies, negative, whatever's all this and that. But, there's always, as they say, a gentler way. There's always, and again, it's not even another lesson that came out of this whole heart awakening season. This has been going on, the test, since October, right? And recently they were saying that they're assessing again, because guess what? They're trying to call people, assign them, move them around, this, that. But it's not necessarily the deeds that are being assessed. It's the heart with which the deed is done. And that's an important distinction to make, because somebody killing somebody else, murder, to us, it's like all murder is wrong. But we already see the complexities with that, because maybe not all murder is wrong, or sometimes a murder, for example, may be the most compassionate expression, or the smartest thing to do. These are from higher perspectives, and we see this craziness in perspective, not craziness, this flexibility in perspective, when we think about, oh, is it okay to kill someone? Of course not, because you're robbing them of their life and this and that, and it's affecting other people, and who are you to judge, right? But what if you kill in the name of self-defense, right? And then who are we defending? And is it enough? And what if kids are involved? What if they're not involved? Is it animals? Is the animals enough? Is it okay to kill an insect? There are some people would be like, no, it's not. And then others are like, yeah, whatever, it's just a bug. So you see the subjectivity. At the end of the day, they're not looking to see the deed, what you did. They're looking to see the heart with which you did it. When your heart is in the right place, meaning it's aligned and it's in its optimal state, which we are all working towards, okay? Listen, we out here, the struggle is reals, right? But when your heart is in the right place, all of your actions, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings are filtered through the heart. And that's when you start to get into a place of introspection, and you start to think about more than just yourself. You think about how your actions affect others, and you think about where your quote unquote authority comes from in order to do or say and be certain things. Speaking of, look at my volition card, right? Your spiritual decree. So spirit is, oh, there we go. See, I know I'm not crazy. Spiritual service, all right? 14 minutes, 14 seconds. I just heard them say welcome. Well, I heard them say, I got to keep it 100. I heard them say, welcome to the army. I don't like that term. I put my hand literally on my chest like that. I don't like that term, but I'm just a messenger, and this is what's coming through. So they're saying, this is what you've been invited to do. And I'm hearing imported to do. So interesting, a play on importing, like pulling in, and also important. 14 minutes, 41 seconds. I'm going to leave it here and let it go. Thank you guys. You know where to find me, and God bless.